Hello and welcome back to my next blog. Today it's a bit dull. It's been raining overnight and it's quite cool out here, so I thought today's a good day to do stuff that requires me being indoors. So planting plans are on today's agenda for the BBC Gardeners World Live Garden. So planting plans are it's not just like going to a nursery and then just buying plants, randomly. You've got to plan it out and work out what's going to look good with what, and how it's all going to fit in. And of course, what's important in a show garden is making sure that it all fits tightly in, so that you're not seeing huge amounts of soil. Seeing some soil is acceptable, but huge amounts is unacceptable. So fitting it all in, cramming it in, is quite key. So you would buy, for a show garden, a lot more plants than you would buy if you were randomly just selecting plants like here for my garden, where there's lots of space in between and because there's lots of time to allow things to grow into their position. So so planning for a show garden is very different and is key in a judge's eyes. So let's have a look at that today. So to start creating your planting plan, and which will ensure that you get the right quantity of plants that you need, what you need is a scale drawing of your garden. I've done mine at 1 to 20, a scale rule, a circly thing, colouring pencils and a regular pencil. So now what you do, taking your circly thing and pencil, I know that the dimensions of a 2 litre pot are approximately, at the scale of 1 to 20, 10 millimetres across or around. So simply drawing circles all over your plan allows you to then place out where you're going to plant. Now, because this is a show garden, I'm cramming them in really tightly together so that there's barely any space between. In the normal way, if you're doing the garden at home, you'd probably place them, one here, and then maybe allowing for the plant to grow. It's going to really fill out, so you might pop another one here and another one here, because the plants then are going to fill out and close the gaps. But for a show garden, you don't get that opportunity because you plant them and then the very next day the garden is shown. So I'm going to plant them nice and tightly together, and also if I over order the plants, it doesn't matter, I don't have to use them all.
Having spent the last few hours drawing circles and colouring them in a different colour so that I can do a calculation to work out how many of each of the different types of plants and their varieties that I require to order from the nursery, I now have this completed psychedelic map, if you like, or plan of my garden. These colours by no means represent the colours of the actual plants that have been selected. It's purely to reflect to this code, and this code is the planting list, which is on both sides, and that basically just shows how many of each of the plants that I require and what that particular plant is, so that I can then approach the nursery and ask them whether or not they have that in stock, or whether they can get it in stock, and also to get a quote, because I will go to obviously more than one nursery. Right, so having now produced this diagram and plant list, I've consolidated that and created a mood board which shows all of the plants that I've selected. I just wanted to make sure that all of their colours work well together. And then from that I've then been able to compile a list which is made up of 360 plants. So that list is now going to be going over to various different nurseries to see whether or not they might be A, interested, and B, capable of producing all of those plants for me, and bearing in mind that all of the plants have to be in their peak condition in order to be suitable for a show garden.